Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. The Friday the 13th franchise over the past 15 years has been going through some ups and downs, in and out of court, and we just don't know what's happening with the franchise. Now, a couple of years ago, we got a bit of a lifeline with the Crystal Lake TV show. Not only did we get the lifeline, but we were getting more information as the months went by. We heard that Brad Fuller was going to be involved in it. We heard that A24 are going to be developing the show. So there's a lot of good things happening over the last 2 years of development. But since then, not much has actually happened because we've not had any updates. The filming didn't begin when we thought it was going to begin, and everything just felt like it was just at a standstill. Fast forward to now, Jeff Schneider from the Schneider, he said that A24 had pulled the plug on the A24 Crystal Lake TV show, and that caused a massive uproar in the horror community, especially on Twitter, and people were going, that's not good for the show, that's not good for the franchise, etc. And when I read about it, I thought, I'm going to wait for about 24 hours just in case that information isn't fully correct or there's something missing from that information. And within about 5 or 6 hours, that was the case. Now, Bloody Disgusting then reported on Jeffrey Schneider's report that it wasn't all fully correct. Now, I'd seen a lot of people going after this guy, Jeff Schneider. I don't know who he is, but a lot of people are going after him in the horror community, and that's how toxic it's getting right now. As soon as someone gets something either incorrect or says something wrong accidentally, then they're totally attacked, and it's not fair the way they do it. And then when this person, Jeff Schneider, responds to these people that are attacking him, then people then go back to old tweets that he made years ago to try and attack him even further. That's how toxic it's getting right now. But forget about what Jeff Schneider said. He's only reporting what he's told at the time, information that he's given at the time. Credit to Bloody Disgusting, though, they did mention in their report that Schneider said it's unclear whether this is a permanent decision or a temporary one, as A24 has no comment. Perhaps Peacock will help the trades shed more light on this project, which was announced back in 2022. So as you can see, Bloody Disgusting are kind of helping Jeff Schneider here because although he said they've pulled the plug, that's a glorified title so that you can click on his article. But when you read his article, he's not saying that they've fully pulled the plug. He's not saying it's definitely permanent. It does look that way at this moment in time, but it's absolutely not permanent. With Bloody Disgusting's report, there's not much else that we can really add to it other than what they've said with their source, is they're saying that it's not been pulled, they're just retooling the concept for the TV show, so it's not completely dead in the water, but it still doesn't tell us much. Retooling, pulling the plug, maybe not permanent, maybe permanent, it's all the same thing. We still have no further information. Now, Bloody Disgusting also said that they're still trying to get more information out of their sources, so they might find out more over the next couple of days or couple of weeks, depending on how long it takes, for us to find out if it definitely is dead or not. Now, here's what I think, guys. I think we're maybe edging more towards cancelled than retooling at this moment in time. And the reason for that, and there is some clues in this, is A24 have had a semi-success with Civil War recently, and they've just brought on Steven Spielberg to be a producer of one of their movies. They've brought on Glenn Powell to star in one of their films. They've even got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to star in one of their films as well that they're slated for later on. So I'm starting to think that they're maybe trying to let go of things that they might see as deadwood and try and get more of a Hollywood studio vibe with their movies. No longer do I maybe see A24 as that small, more independent style studio that gives small people a chance. It looks like they're trying to make more money now, and that's fine because they're a business at the end of the day. They can't always stay as small as they always have been. They need to grow eventually, and I think now is the time for A24 to grow. Well, they think that anyway with all the stars that they're bringing in, and Steven Spielberg, of course. So if you're bringing in all these big stars, they're going to have to look at their slate and decide, is there anything here that's not really worth our while? And I think Crystal Lake is probably on the top of that list to get rid of. Another issue that A24 have is they don't know how unsuccessful or successful this show could be, because Friday the 13th is a big franchise and we've not had a massive horror TV show on that level for a long time. So they still don't know what's going to happen with it. I think they're maybe treading the waters at this moment in time. They don't really want to do anything with it, but they also don't want to let it go. I think maybe they might scrap the TV show idea and go with the movies again. I think they may be thinking the small screen isn't the best idea for Jason Voorhees, because how can you set up a Jason Voorhees TV show with his mother, for example? People might not tune in to something like that. If you're a Friday the 13th fan, the generic Friday the 13th fan or horror fan just want to see Jason Voorhees with his mask on, stabby, 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 kill, kill, kill. That's what the general audience want for a Friday the 13th movie. Yes, of course, you're going to have the select people that want something more in-depth, like myself. That's what I want. But look what happened with Halloween Ends. We got a more in-depth Halloween movie, and some people liked it, like myself, but other people didn't want to see that. They wanted to see Michael Myers fight Laurie Strode, stabby, stabby, kill, kill, kill. They didn't get it, therefore they didn't like it. And that's just the general audience. I'm not saying everyone thinks like that, but a general audience that's not a horror fan will see the title Friday the 13th or Halloween and go, right, Friday the 13th, that must mean I'll be going into this movie thinking Jason Voorhees is going to kill, 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 stabby, stabby, stabby. And it's the same with Michael Myers. But for fans of Friday the 13th, they want more. They want something more in depth. For fans of Halloween, they want something more. They want something more in depth. And when you get that, a select few like it, but the general audience either doesn't get it or they just don't like it. So with Friday the 13th, I think A24 might not know what they want to do with it, because A24 are one of these studios that they will give you films and shows that have got a lot of depth to it. But maybe they're thinking themselves, is that what Friday the 13th fans want? Or is that what the general audience want for a Friday the 13th show? Maybe not. So with all the stars coming into A24, with all the thought process getting into what they want to do with Crystal Lake, I genuinely believe that A24 just don't know what they want to do with this. And because they don't know what they want to do, then they've semi-pulled the plug. I think they have pulled the plug for this moment in time. It doesn't mean they're just going to put it on the back burner forever. They've pulled the plug, they're retooling, they're deciding what they want to do with it. If they've got an idea, I think they'll run with it. And the idea I think they'll go with is more along the lines of a movie franchise again, rather than a TV show. But I don't know the ins and outs of the legalities behind it, because obviously the background of Friday the 13th is very messy. Even at this moment in time, they tried their hardest to get to where they are just now with Crystal Lake. So I don't know the legalities behind it all, but I think they should go with the movie franchise more. And if A24 want to do it, then that's fine. But they have to strike a balance with the audience. Do they want to go down that thought-provoking route, or do they want to go down to the generic Friday the 13th formula? Who knows? So what are your thoughts on it all, guys? Do you think it's definitely been pulled forever? Do you think it's been pulled for the time being? Do you think they're going to be retooling this? And also with regards to social media, and I urge you not to do this, guys. If you see someone report on something that turns out not to be correct, don't blame them. Blame the sources if you want to blame anyone, but don't start arguing with them, and don't start saying, you're this and you're that. Who do you think you are? I wasted my time doing a video on this and I wasted my time doing that. Don't do that. Just accept it for what it is. Say to yourself, I was kind of duped to maybe get into this too fast. I should have waited 24 or 48 hours. And that's why I've done this video a little bit later, because I didn't want to jump the gun on it. Of course, I jumped the gun on Halloween stuff, but even when I do the Halloween stuff, I say in the video, this is just the information that I'm giving just now. The information that I'm giving you just now might be completely different by the time you watch this video. And it's the same with Friday the 13th. So don't take everything to heart. Certainly don't attack people personally for what they're reporting, because it's just not on. Anyway, guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the whole situation, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the